Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. So as you can see by the screen, we're talking about Crysis Remastered for the Nintendo Switch. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a comment below if you have enjoyed the video, and don't forget to hit like as well. Let's make a start with some gameplay and let's look at this review. If you haven't heard of Crysis before, it was a huge game originally released in 2007 on the PC, and there was a big thing about it because you had to have a really powerful PC in order to get this to play. So even though it's 13 years old, it's still quite amazing that we've been able to get this game to play on the Nintendo Switch, particularly as a handheld device. To give you a quick summary of the story, so you take control of, I guess, what's classed as maybe super army soldiers, and you have these advanced suits which allow you to jump really high, give you almost super speed, a cloaking device, and then extra strength. And you have to fight the North Koreans, you fight various militia groups, and then there's also these advanced aliens as well on the island who have been reawakened, and you have to face off against all three of those groups. One of the frustrations on the Nintendo Switch, and not just with Crysis, but with a lot of other games I've reviewed, is when you're in darkness, it's very challenging to actually see what's going on the screen. The graphics take a huge drop. Even when you turn up the brightness in handheld mode, I found it very difficult to play this game whenever the darkness was down, whenever it was nighttime. But again, not just with this game, it's happened in a lot of other games as well, so I don't want to make that complaint just purely on Crysis. It's a problem with a lot of Nintendo Switch games. You can obviously see from the clip going from a very dark background to obviously as it starts to move through the day and becomes lighter, it looks so much better, it's so much easier to actually see the screen. So it's a slight negative. It's something that I think Nintendo need to work on, or anyone bringing a game to the Switch do need to work on, where you can see how much the game improves when you move into much lighter areas. If you were to say Doom and Doom Eternal are the benchmark for shooters on the Nintendo Switch, this is somewhat much below those games. It's obviously a 13-year-old game, and in order to actually get the most out of this game, you need to have a high-end PC. So I think they have done really well to get the game across. As I said, graphically, there's a few issues going from the darker areas, but once you are in those lighter areas, it does look really nice. But obviously, some of the foliage, the plants, when it's slightly darker, it does look a little bit poor. So it's quite a long way down from, say, Doom or Doom Eternal graphically. I did struggle a little bit with the combat of this game. I couldn't quite work out whether it wanted me to just go in and try and kill everyone as loudly and quickly as possible, or whether it wanted me to go in and sneak around. There are obviously a few choices there you can make, but there was quite a lot of enemies on the screen, so I felt like trying to sneak around and take them all out individually, because your cloaking device runs out quite quickly, was very challenging. If you do enjoy games maybe like Metal Gear Solid, particularly Metal Gear Solid 2, I do think you will enjoy that more sneaky element of the game. And also, if you don't really fancy sneaking around, you can play it a little bit more like Just Cause, if you remember those games from PS2. I think the also was out on PS4 as well. And you can just nick a truck and start shooting everyone with the machine guns and do it that way if you want to. So there are a few different ways you can actually approach the game as well, which is quite fun. The price of this game at the moment is £26.99. I think that's a little bit too high. So I paid £16 in the sale a couple of weeks ago, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you just to wait for another sale. Leave it on your wish list, wait for an email from Nintendo, and then when you get that message to say it's back in the sale, grab it then. I think anything probably above £16 is just a little bit too high. £26.99 especially is just a little bit too much for this game, I think. Each time you reach a checkpoint, luckily the game does save. Now this is coming quite useful because the game has lagged on me quite a few times and I've ended up dying. But then also the game has just completely crashed on me numerous times, which has been very frustrating. But as I say, luckily you have got that checkpoint option to save the game, so you don't lose too much data. But it's very frustrating from a game and having to either leave the Switch that hasn't worked, so I've left the Switch for sort of 2 minutes to see if it comes back, hasn't worked, I've ended up having to turn the Switch off and on again and then reload the game, and the loading times to actually get back into the game are quite slow. So that has been a very, very frustrating time playing the game, despite enjoying it, but very frustrating when it crashes. To sum up the game review, I think anything above a 7 would be scoring the game a little bit too high. I have enjoyed playing through, but within that first hour of playing the game, I think the game crashed on me 4 times and I had to restart the console, which is just too much for a game like this. Now obviously I paid quite a low rate for the game. At £12 I wasn't too disappointed. Had I paid that nearly £27 for the game and it crashed like that, I would be scoring the game even lower. So my advice to anyone would be pick the game up in a sale. Hopefully they'll do a fix for the game, or maybe I just got unlucky, but I think there has been a few crashes for other people when I've watched other reviews as well. So just bear that in mind if you are going to buy this game. If it doesn't go into the sale and you want to pick up a good first person shooter, I'd recommend going for the Doom series instead of this. But next time it goes in the sale, then I would think about picking this up. I really hope you found this review useful. If you have, don't obviously forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, comment down below if you did enjoy the review. Thanks a lot for watching everyone, take care, and I look forward to seeing you in the next review.